are so insane that it'll make your fears less scary. Okay. Um, so either this video can be helpful to make you feel less insane, or I will come off looking completely insane. And yeah, either way, that's gonna be entertaining, right? Now, I did make a video like this probably about 2 or 3 years ago talking about my fears, and all those fears are still very accurate, very accurate. But I have other fears that are just insane. It's like, I almost don't even want to tell you. I almost don't even want to tell you because crazy. Now, some of them, I'm sure everyone has these fears, but some of them are just like, what? And you'll see, you'll see. So I don't know how long the video is going to be because I don't have a lot on my little fear list here, but yeah. So I'm just going to go through them, and you can either laugh at me or you can be like, me too, girl. Me too. Okay, so my first one, I think it might be kind of a normal one, but there's something that's not so normal. Okay, so the ocean. Like the ocean and all other waters, like lakes, rivers, well, anything but a pool. Because for so many reasons, mainly because you can't see. Like, I think that I could go into those ocean waters that are at those really pretty beaches where it's like crystal clear and you can see the white sand under this beautiful blue water. Maybe I would be able to do that, but probably not. And when I really think about it, pools are actually kind of like but okay, so I don't like not being able to see in the water, okay? And also, I start thinking about other things. Sorry, there's like a loud vehicle going by. Why do you gotta have a vehicle like that? It's like, that doesn't make you cool. I hate those. Anyway, so yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about because that stupid car or whatever it was. You can't see anything in there, and there are things in there that are like alive, like I don't know, snakes and eels and crocodiles and sharks and all kinds of fish and like crustacean type. No, I am a complete germphobe, okay? Which is why I'm like, pools are, I like going swimming, and pools are acceptable, but I like going swimming like right after they clean the pool and all the chemicals have like killed everything, you know? That's my favorite time to go swimming, if I go swimming at all. But like, I've seen documentaries, I know things that happen in there, like all these animals all over the whole world, they poop in there. They poop in the ocean and the rivers and the ponds and the lakes and stuff. They pee in there. They kill things in there. So there's blood and guts and like things that have died in there. They're like decomposing and then break up and they're just in the water. And hello, they need to what is the word? Reproduce. So there's that just in the water everywhere. Who would voluntarily go swimming in all of those things? I don't think so. No way. No way. But also there's like things in there and you can't see. No. I'm not about that. And I gotta tell you about this fear that I had when I was a child. And so the sun, like, wasn't really there. So it was always like in this shadow, you know, of the building. And it covered the whole deep end. So, like, you could go to the deep end, but, like, I've always been very short, you know. But, like, you can't touch the bottom, right? But it's really dark and it's kind of hard to see. And in my mind, God, it sounds so stupid, but in my mind, even though it was a swimming pool, I had a fear that a shark might be down there and it could just swim up real quick and, like, eat my legs. I know, it's like it's a pool. There are people everywhere. There's no shark. So, even to this day, when I go to the deep end, that memory, like, it somehow triggers that memory in my brain, and I'm like, wouldn't that be crazy if there was a shark? But I know there's not a shark, but wouldn't it be crazy? Like, see what I mean? These are gonna be, they sound crazy, but it's like, why did I think that? Why did I think that when I was a kid? And why does it trigger that thought whenever I don't even have to be in the deep end? If there is a shadow, I can even see the bottom. I'll still, that thought will come into my mind, and it's like, why? What? So since we're on the topic of water, cruises, I don't think I will ever in my life go on a cruise. Just because I must be a reincarnation of a Titanic, like, survivor or Titanic victim or something. Because when I think of cruises, I just immediately think, okay, you want me to go to the middle of the ocean where the water is that I don't like anyway, and just expect, like, I would just expect for the ship to hit something or crash or whatever. If I'm going on that ship, it's going down, and I know it. It's going down. And I know that you're like, oh, but they make these laws now where there has to be the right number of, like, lifeboats and stuff like that. I get that. But there is a documentary on Netflix, and I cannot remember what it was called. But that documentary triggered my past life Titanic memories, okay? Because what happened, the boat hit some rocks, or the ship hit rocks. They got too close to the shore or something, I don't know, and it hit rocks. And, yep, all the compartments started filling up, just like in the Titanic, okay? And they were like, if this mini goes, this shit, because they closed the watertight doors. I was having panic attacks watching this documentary, and they closed all the watertight doors, and it wasn't enough. It cut way too much, and that ship is going down. Thank God they were not in the middle of the ocean, okay? They were close to shore, but the way that it was going down was, instead of going down like the Titanic, where, like, here's the boat and it did this and then broke and then they went down. No. Here's the boat. Instead of doing this, it turned on its side and it started going down like that. Oh my God. So half of the lifeboats didn't even, they couldn't access them. The other ones, they couldn't get them down because they were on top, and it was a whole thing. Some people got into lifeboats and they made it to shore, but lots of people were, like, trapped in there, and people actually died. No, if I am going on a cruise, that thing is going down and I am going to die. I just know it. This is a rational fear, I know, but technically it could happen because it did. And it's like in current times. I wish I could remember the documentary. If I remember, I'll try and look it up and then, like, post a picture or It's so crazy. So, no, I am never going on a cruise. Ever. I don't like boats. I don't want to be anywhere near that kind of water because of my other fears. You know what I mean? Okay, this is something that I'm sure lots of people are scared of, but it's like, I am scared. I'm a full grown adult, and I am scared of the dark. I am actually terrified and scared of the dark because I can't see. And it's like, what if something is out there? And I'm talking in the house. Like, if the electricity goes out or something, and it's nighttime or whatever, it is pitch black in here. And it's like, I am the adult that has night lights in every single room. Multiple night lights. My son has like 3 night lights, a sky thing, all this stuff. I have the sky with the lights, and it's actually really pretty. But I also have 50,000 night lights everywhere, because even at night when I turn off the big lights, I need to be able to see what is going on. And then, like, sometimes I take Ava out to go potty, and it's like, I don't know, the middle of the night or something, and I'll go out there, and every time Ava sees someone, her tail, it doesn't matter who it is, her tail goes, and she's so happy to see them, right? Well, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I take her out to go potty, and I usually have her on a leash because we've got lots of, like, hawks and owls and stuff, and I don't want them to take her because she's a little bitty thing, you know. When I take her out, sometimes she'll look out into the front yard, and I've mentioned before, we basically live in the woods. It's like forest trees all around. She will look out towards the front yard, which there's nothing there. It's just nothing but woods, okay? She'll like jerk her head over, and then her tail will start wagging, and she's so excited. I'm like, who the hell is she seeing? I'm like, girl, you better get this potty thing going, and we gotta get out. Like, I'm not about I need to see things because darkness is just scary to me. I'm like, no. So I know a lot of people have that fear, but it's like, I feel stupid because I'm an adult. Like, if something was out there and I come back inside and shut my door, you think whatever is out there can't come in my house and get me because I'm in the safety of walls. That's crazy. If there's something out there that has bad intentions or whatever, it's gonna come in here regardless if there's light or not. You know what I mean? But some reason shutting that door and being in the safety of my night lights, I feel better. What is that? Why am I so scared of the dark? I don't know. There's another thing which I think is weird, and I don't know if it's just a me thing or if other people are like this, but I can't. I really don't like it, but I can't have my back exposed, and I'm not talking like, you know, like a shirt, a backless shirt or something. No. My back must always be like against a wall. Like, cause I don't want something going on behind me. It's like I need to see everything from all angles at all times. Why? Have I ever been attacked from the back? No. I'm like, what happened to me in my past that I can't remember? Because, you know, I have like no memories of my life really. What happened to me to make me be like, I have to be on alert at all times, in the light, in the dark. I need to see everything. Is it like a past life thing? Was I viciously attacked or something and then thrown in the ocean? I don't know. But I have to have my back against a wall or like or something, but I need to be able to see everything. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Is that weird? Am I the only person that's like that? Or is that normal and I just don't know? I don't know because people don't talk about these things, you know? So, okay. Now, this next thing is kind of crazy, but I'm just making sure it's recording. Kind of crazy, but also maybe not. So, we all know that I have a fear of bugs. All bugs, really. Like, I don't want bugs in my house. I have a fear, even though I don't have bugs in my house, I have a fear that one time I will be recording a video and there will be a bug just crawling on the wall. And I don't know because I can't see back there. Although, yes, I can because I have a mirror here, but I rarely look in this mirror. Because we'll get into that. But I have it there just to make sure I don't have like an eyelash because my eyelashes fall out all the time. And like, I don't want eyelashes on my face or like my hair to be sticking up or something. So I always check it before I start the video. But most of the time it's like turned another way. But I do have a fear that like a bug will go by and I won't know. And then I'll go back and edit and then I'll see it and then I'll be like, oh my gosh. And then it'll just be gone. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. But, okay, so I don't like bugs. And there's one bug that I don't like. And I always talk about them as Voldemorts because I can't even say their real name, which I will say. Because I was talking about Voldemorts in a video the other day, and I don't even remember why I was talking about it. Oh, it was the army. What army life is really like video. And somebody was like, I don't know what Voldemorts is. Please tell me. So if you haven't seen, because that's in my, biggest fears video from however many years ago, I'm going to say it once. I'm looking around because just saying the word it makes me feel dirty, and I feel like they're around. Like, I'm not even joking. It's a roach. Okay, no, it's Voldemort. Voldemort, because we don't say that word in this house ever. Ever. Okay. But those are my biggest fear. But whenever there's a spider or something, because spiders do. I mean, we're in the forest, like, it feels very foresty to me because there's trees everywhere. But like, if there's a spider or, oh god, there's never actually been a Voldemort in here before, but winter has not come yet, and that's when they try to get into the house. And I have never lived here in the winter before, so I'm terrified of that. But let's say a bug, it doesn't even have to be a Voldemort, gets in the house, or gets near the house, and I kill it. This is crazy, okay? But I am like, I killed this thing. And then I start thinking about the actual bug. And I'm like, now this is so crazy, but I'm like, this thing possibly had a family, or has a family, and what if, now I know bugs don't really have these type of lives, but this is how crazy and irrational my mind is with bugs. And I'm like, what if they were, leaving their nest or their home in search of food for like the little babies, and then I start thinking about the little babies and how they're born and just but anyway, and I'm like, and then this one bug didn't come home and the other bugs are like, where's grandpa? Or and then they go searching. They follow their scent because bugs do that, but they like smell differently. Whatever. Anyway, oh my god. And then they go searching. And then they're like, it ends here. And they like can smell the death. And they're like, we have to avenge grandpa. And they know somehow. I don't know how they know, but they know that it was me. bunch of them. Oh my god. I am actually scared of this. It's like, that's not real. That's insane. That is insane. I don't like that. I don't like it. I go into much more detail in my brain thinking about the thing that I just killed. And, like, what if it was on, like, because some bugs, they, like, walk around because it's, like, time to, I can't think of the word, but, you know, like, mating season, okay? And some bugs, they leave a trail of pheromones, okay? And I'm like, okay, well, so I killed that bug. Maybe they don't have a family and they're trying to start a family, and they left their pheromone trail. Well, that's going to bring other bugs to this spot. And then they're not gonna find it, so then they're gonna go searching, and what if they like come in my house or something? I'm terrified of this, okay? And I don't talk about this kind of thing, especially around my son, because my son is very scared of spiders. I'm not scared of spiders, although there is a new movie coming out. I think it's called like Crawlers or something. Have you seen that trailer? Oh my god. Like just the trailer, I'm like, oh my god, there's stuff on me. But I don't talk about this kind of thing, especially around my son, because he's terrified of bugs, you know? So whenever there is a bug, I have to kill it right away, or, I mean, it's mostly spiders, there hasn't been anything, whatever, but if there is something in here, like some weird thing, and it's farther than I can reach, or big and scary, I scream for Emma, because she's bigger than me, okay, so she can reach things, and she's not scared of anything, nothing, so she acts like it's no big deal, so I'm like, she's the man of the family now, because I'm not married, my husband used to take care of this kind of thing, and he's not around anymore, right, so the man of the house is now Emma, because she's stronger than everyone, she's bigger than everyone, and she's not scared of anything. So Emma takes care of me, thank gosh. Okay, now this next thing, it's stupid, but it's something that could happen that I am afraid of. But okay, so I walk the kids down to the bus stop every day, and then I walk back. And I mentioned this earlier. We live in the woods. It's like a forest, you know, so there are all type of like little creatures, and like there's rabbits, squirrels, and vultures, and owls, and all kinds of birds. Okay, like so many different birds, and like these like weird little crane things that are like massive. Okay, anyway, so when I walk there and back, the whole street is, I mean, it's not completely covered, but it's a lot of bird poop. You know, it's like white splatter marks everywhere, because we have a billion birds and a billion kinds of birds here. And I'm like, it's all over the road. All over the road. Because they're constantly flying back and forth and whatever. So my fear is, I'm walking on this road, and what's on the road? The bird poop that is fallen from the birds flying by, and it's splattering. Well, I walk in this area, so like, at any time, one of those birds could fly by, which they do all the time, all the time. I'm afraid it's gonna poop on my head. Oh my god, and I've never had bird poop on me, but have you seen it? It's disgusting. son alone at the bus stop, you know? So I would just have to sit there in bird crap until the bus came, and then make the slow walk home, and then take a shower. But I would never feel clean because it would be in my hair, and like, how am I gonna get out of my hair, right? Running underwater. But then I have to like get my hands in my hair, and then my hands, they will be stained with this for the rest of my life because I'll never not be able to think these hands touched bird shit. I'm a germphobe, so I would never. So I'm scared of that. I know I'm probably crazy, but it could happen, and I know it could happen because all the evidence is on the road. It's right there. It's terrifying. Okay, another thing that I am crazy about is mirrors. I don't really like to look into mirrors. If it's a new mirror that I bought, like brand new, maybe. But first of all, I don't want to see none of this, you know? But secondly, I'm like, have you ever looked in a mirror? Like, looked at yourself in a mirror? It's like your eyes can play tricks on you. The longer you look into a mirror, your eyes can play tricks on you, and that's crazy, and I don't like it. I don't like it. But also, again, super crazy, I don't like antique mirrors or older mirrors or like hand down type of mirrors or whatever, because I think about how old it is, how many people have owned this mirror, and then I'm like, all these people have looked into this mirror, and then I just go off to the deep end, and I'm like, okay, if it's an antique mirror, most of the people who have owned this mirror have died, okay? And you hear about how sometimes spirits stay around and become attached to certain things, okay? I know, it's crazy. It sounds crazy. I'm crazy. I'm just telling you. So I'm like, what if there is like a spirit attached to this specific mirror? So I'm using it to like look at myself. But what if something's looking back? I know, I'm crazy. So I don't like mirrors. And I don't like looking at myself in a mirror, and I'm not about mirrors. No, I don't like them. But I do have mirrors all over my house because Emma likes mirrors, and she uses them because she makes TikToks and she does all these dances and stuff. But I avoid them. I don't look in them. They don't exist in my brain. No. Okay, these next two things. One of them could happen. One of them is like insane. I mean, I guess technically it could happen, but no. Okay, and this is very dark. So, yeah. Okay, so I do walk down to the bus stop with the kids, and I walk back, and then, yeah, it's kind of far for me to walk, so I have to take my rollator because it's too hard for me to walk down there with just my cane. And remember I told you that this is like, we live in the woods. It's like forest. There are trees everywhere. This street is actually a nice street, obviously, because everybody on this street has lived here forever, and we're all related. Not all of us, but most of us. And the other people, they're older, and they've lived here forever. Okay, and then there is a business right over there. It's like a lawn care business. It's just where they keep all their lawn equipment and stuff like that. But then there's this section past that business that is just very dense, heavily wooded area. this is like just a perfect place for a body. Like, anybody could just come by and like murder me or other things, and then just they could just like drag me into this forest, okay? Because you can't see in there, and it's terrifying. You know, they could do whatever. They could murder me and then just throw my rollator in the ditch, and no one would know. No one would know for a very long time, if ever. Obviously, people would be like, "Where's Tina?" You know, because, but like, and it wouldn't happen. This neighborhood is not dangerous like that, but it could happen. And it's like, my aunt didn't want me walking down the street by myself because there used to be a man that like lived in those woods area, and I'm not talking in a house. I'm talking he just lived there. He didn't have a tent or anything. I'm like, but he was like mentally unstable, and he freaked my aunt out. I saw him one time, and he did give off like a kind of a weird vibe, but he didn't scare me, you know. But she was scared of me walking down the street, so she bought me mace, you know. So every time I go down the street, I have mace, but it's like, and it's right there. It's very easily accessible. But come on, it's me. If somebody actually tried to do something to me, I would first of all fall over. I would forget how to work a zipper, get the mace out. Like, I would forget how it's used, even though it's the most easiest, simple thing in the world. This will never happen. I'm just saying it could happen. And every once in a while, when I'm walking down the street and I'm looking at it, it's like, that's perfect murder corner right there. Like, and that's scary. That's like terrifying, you know? Like, I don't like it. It won't happen just because everyone in this neighborhood is great, you know? But what if there's some creeper that's just driving around looking to murder, you know? I don't know. I know I'm crazy, but it is possible, but it won't happen. And then this next thing, I actually talked about it in my summer life update video. I'm actually scared. This is not an irrational, crazy fear. This is a real, for real fear that could happen to me. But I have multiple sclerosis, as I'm sure you're aware, and I have a symptom which is just insane. It is called Charles Bonnet, or Bonnet. It's Bonnet. And there are 3 like tiers of this thing. Okay, it affects the vision. And you don't just have to have MS for this. This can happen to anybody, I guess, but it is a symptom of MS. And one of the symptoms, which I have quite often, is pulsating patterns in your field of vision. And that happens to me all the time. And it's like, it just, and it's like I can hear it in my brain as well, which is insane. But it only lasts for about 20 to 25 minutes. Sometimes less, but it's usually 20 to 25 minutes. So that's one aspect of that disease, disorder, symptom. I don't know. The other one is seeing animals. And that has happened to me before, where I see a cat or a dog run by, and there is no cat, there is no dog, and it just disappears. That's real, and it has happened to me several times. And before I ghost pets or something. I don't know. But they just run by and then they disappear. It's insane. That's not what I'm scared about. The thing that I'm scared about is the third little tier of this Charles Bonnet thing. You can see mythical creatures. Mythical creatures. Now, there are good mythical creatures, like a unicorn or a Pegasus or something like that. Maybe a fairy or something. I don't really know too much about mythical creatures. But then there are bad mythical creatures. And I was explaining this to my son because it was insane. And so then because my son is very, he's on the spectrum. So he knows a lot about very specific things. Okay, well, he knows about mythical creatures. And so he was going through the list of all these mythical creatures, and he went through the good mythical creatures and the bad mythical creatures. And it's like, if I hit this level of the Charles Bonnet thing, I am absolutely terrified of seeing mythical creatures because it's me. So I won't get the glittery unicorn. No, no, no. I'll get the fire breathing, like blood drinking dragon. You know, like I'll get some weird freaky thing that's gonna scare the hell out of me. I just know it. I just know it. So it's like, yeah, that is a crazy fear. It sounds absolutely insane, but it's a real thing that could happen. So, is it an irrational fear? I don't think so. That's a real fear that I have. Because I've got the other two aspects of that. I haven't experienced the mythical creature thing, but I'm real scared. I'm real scared. But anyway, so have I proven to you that I am insane? Or did I help you out? Because you have insane fears too. If you have super crazy fears, will you please tell them to me? So that I don't feel so